The one true terror in Fear Street is coming out, whether that be Sam struggling to accept herself in part 1, or Sarah Fier quite literally being executed for her relationship with Hannah in part 3. There was always that one constant looming fright in the back of the Fear Street movies and what that meant for our main characters. And I want to start off this whole conversation with Dena and Sam. Dena and Sam are both polar opposites in regards to where their characters start off and where we see them. One character is running away from who she is, and the other is steadfast and brave with whatever she's going to face. Fear Street throws the viewer into the middle of Dena and Sam's breakup, and when they have their first interaction together, we are made to believe that Sam is the guy that we see, and he is who Dena is yearning over. And I really like how the movie approached this. If you didn't know any better, the assumption would just be that Sam is a man and Dena is jealous over the new girl in his life. But the movie really subverts the audience's expectations when Sam is revealed in the following scene. Throughout the beginning of the movie, pronouns are very much absent whenever Sam is mentioned, but Sam is also a pretty unisex name that can be short for Samuel, or in this case, Samantha. The first scene together is tense, and understandably so. Like I said, we just are thrown into the middle of their breakup. But Dena is returning the rest of Sam's stuff and is not happy to see Sam living her new life. And I completely understand the anger from Dena's perspective. To her, Sam just ran away from everything. Not only from their relationship, but from her own self. And that's gotta be one of the most devastating things to see from a person that you care about so much. Now, from Sam's side, she has some excuses already lined up. Things like her parents having a divorce, she's only 30 minutes away now, and it's like, come on, Dena. 30 minutes is really nothing. And I completely agree with that sentiment, but it's also very clear that the 30 minutes isn't the real issue here. Sam was ultimately running away from herself and her sexuality, and Dena was her past being thrown right into her face when she didn't want to look. Sam thought that the best way to move on from Dena was to reject herself completely, moving to a new town, getting a new boyfriend, and doing all of the things that you're supposed to do to be considered leading a quote-unquote normal life. But Dena makes a great point when she says,
"It's not your future if you're pretending to be someone else."
But regardless of that, the only thing that Sam knows at this point is the fear of how people will look at her or treat her if they know who she really is.
"I know you were always too afraid to tell anyone about us."
She can already see it in the way that people talk about Dena or to Dena and their comments towards her. That conversation Dena had with Sam's mom over the phone really says a lot about the pressure Sam was most likely put under for even just being close to Dena. However, given their proximity to each other in the entire first movie, Sam is remembering what it's like to be herself and subsequently be free. Granted, they're being chased by monsters the entire night, but hey, at least she can feel like herself. And while that whole sentence might sound really weird, at the same time, it can really put your life into perspective when you're put into crazy situations like that. I know, it's a very much out there situation, but I think the point stands. And by the end of the first movie, Sam takes a really big step in loving herself, and that is allowing herself to love Dena. She fully and openly kisses Dena in front of her disapproving mother and doesn't have a hint of regret within her smile on the way out the door of the police station. If we take a look at this solely from Dena's side, she is the complete opposite of Sam, in that she is out and she does not hide who she is. She does her best to have her strength and bravery throughout it all. Her brother knows, her friends know, and I'm sure everyone that knows Dena probably knows too. One of my favorite scenes in Fear Street is when Dena and Sam are having their first real conversation together. Dena says to Sam,
"It's not really easy for me to, be like us, either."
The full acknowledgement of what the audience already knew was extremely important to hear, because it's not as if she's a superhuman or anything, and of course the words and looks do get to her, but to still be true to herself is one of the most powerful actions that she can take. I mean, if we're being honest, her love for Sam is the ultimate driving motivator of the entire trilogy. Now let's get on a bit to Sarah Fier. The beginning of Fear Street Part 3 takes the viewers back all the way to 1666, where we meet Sarah Fier and Hannah Miller. Sarah Fier is a name that has been haunting the story since the first movie. The reason all these bad things are happening to our protagonists is because Sarah Fier is a witch who has it out for shady siders. Little do we know in the first movie, that is not even close to what the actual story is. At the start of the movie, Sarah and Hannah have this very clear attraction to each other, but they have never acted on it until they have a late night rendezvous at a late night party in the woods. Imagine if coming to terms with these feelings was difficult in 1994, then it is astronomically more difficult in 1666. And this time it's Sarah who is scared to give in to her wants, but Hannah assures her that what they are doing does not feel wrong. But there is someone else in the woods that sees them, which sends a new wave of anxiety down their spines. On top of all of this, there seems to be mysterious happenings going on in the village, and none of them are good by any means. It seems as if the people are being cursed by something, and Sarah is the first to confess to Solomon Good that she has feelings for another girl, and she has acted upon those feelings the night prior to everything bad happening. She fears get it? She fears that her acting upon her wants and accepting them is what makes her a wicked person, and that she has always been wicked because this has always been inside of her. The homophobia strikes again. Except it's the internal kind this time. Well, I guess it was also internal with Sam. Either way, it strikes again. But don't you worry, the external homophobes are about to come out. Get it? In full force in no time. Because word around the town is that there are witches on the loose. And what is more magical than two girls falling in love? Am I right? Am I right? Either way, there is a town meeting and Sarah and Hannah are accused of being witches because some dude was mad that he got rejected the night of the party, but it also doesn't help that they were seen by multiple people kissing. In this case, it wasn't only in the woods, but after that, the town loony saw them, and of course these guys are our most reliable source of information in the town, which is great news for us. So everyone jumps on the train and Sarah and Hannah are being hunted under the accusation of witchcraft. Sarah gives into the idea that if they're going to hunt them, then you might as well give them what they want.
They want a witch. I will give them a witch.
And soon enough, she finds out that the person at the root cause of all of these problems in town was actually Solomon Good, who turns her in to save himself. And at the end of her life, Sarah takes all the blame onto herself and spares Hannah from being hanged, but she swears one last thing, and that is to haunt the Good lineage until the truth is set free. And then we cut back to 1994 part 2, where Dena learns everything that happened and is set on taking down Sheriff Nick Good. Of course, he won't go down without a fight, and decides to throw in another jab at Dena too.
Local dyke slays a girlfriend.
But it's all over with the final blow to his eye from Dena. Throughout the entire movie trilogy, the relationship between Dena and Sam was at the crux of it all, and by the end of it, they are both fully able to be with each other without any inhibitions. In a way, Sarah Fier was vindicated as well. The truth came out about who she truly was, and she will be remembered as the first Shady Sider.